Yeah, I think it's great to come into the office at least once or twice a week. I think it has a positive impact.
I was all ready to go, fired up, go to the house.
Did it go under contract?
Yeah,
That's
okay.
Yeah, that
I mean,
happens.
congratulations to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you,
Sell that house.
whoops. And if you stack other lead gen activities with it, like social media, things like that, you at least got some sort of activity done around it. I'll take a look at those while we make them join.
But like, I was gonna like door knock the homes in which I was gonna post a sign and just kind of like hand out my stuff. With this, so it kind of just like, hey, I'm holding an open house down the street,
Yeah, these look great.
you know, let me know, you know, just a little bit about myself. And if I can, the sign in your yard,
Yeah,
you
that's,
know, kind of type of deal.
and then this is for like them comparing it to other homes.
Well, this was kind of before, like, if someone came in, I was just gonna, and this is stuff within a half mile. You
So
know,
that you could reference.
so I can reference and be
Yeah.
like, you know, I was really hoping for something with like 4 bedrooms. You're like, oh, well, hey, later, after I'm done with this at 3:00.
Yeah,
You wanna go take a look at one of these at like 4:30.
yeah,
You know
that's
what
a
I mean?
great
See if I can
idea.
get like them to initiate a, you know, where I can just be
Follow up
like,
meeting, yeah.
yeah, where
Or
like
next
you're
time.
looking for 5 bedrooms or whatever, and be like, oh, cool, I have a 5 bedroom right here, or a 3 bedroom or whatever. Or this is a little out of my price point, but I really like this area. I can only afford 500. Oh, cool, I have a 489, 1 bed, 1 bath.
Yeah.
And a half a mile from here, so I don't know, I'm not familiar with the housing market in Watch Park. But I was super stoked about Watch Park, it's Watch Park School.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so I was expecting a lot of traffic, and then there was something that was like, you know, just looking at, you know, a 5 bedroom, 6 bathroom, I think this is like a 3-2, yeah, they were a 3-2, but if someone was looking for something bigger. You know,
Yeah, I
5
think that's
bedroom,
a-
like, hey, here's a 5 bedroom, do you wanna go take a look at that later?
I think that's.
I'm all here at 3:00.
Yeah, maybe everyone, yeah, I think those all look great. We were just looking for some of Scott's open house resources. He was talking about how he printed off some homes on the MLS so that if the person coming in doesn't like the house, he has some other homes he could turn them to right then and there. So yeah, that's a great idea. How was everyone's weekend? Did anyone, Connie, did you hold an open house?
I helped at an open house in Frederick with Trisha Manning and Erica. I don't know if Erica is on here. It was her first open house. And you know, we had one couple come through, but more than anything, I just appreciated Trisha because we just talked a lot and she shared a whole lot of experience, which I always appreciate hearing. And the one couple that came through, because I'm in Longmont, the young woman lives in Longmont, and then the guy is interested in getting something in Longmont. So that's actually I took that information home to follow up on. So
Awesome.
yeah.
That's great. Yeah, did anyone else have a good weekend? There were a lot of open houses. I think there were 5 of y'all, although maybe 4 because yours didn't end up getting held, Scott, but 4 of y'all that held open houses. So if that's part of your business plan, this is a great time of year to be holding them open. So I would definitely try to work on this spring and leading into summer, getting those scheduled. So just to start, did anyone attend any classes last week that they had any action items or questions from? Anyone? No, okay, and we are working on our schedule for the next round of Ignite, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna be changing a couple things just to try to make it more purposeful and impactful for y'all. So we're working on, hopefully we'll get the announcement out about that in the next week or so. So, and then let me go over a couple upcoming classes we have this week. So on today, actually from 11 to 11:30. So right after this, we have a Zoom call. It's messages and 2 MOFRs to get buyers and sellers off the fence. So MOFR is make offer for immediate response. So if y'all heard me include the term CTA, a call to action, that's another way to describe this. It's trying to make an offer that will get a buyer and seller off the fence of either buying or selling and into action. So that's a great Zoom to attend if you can. Like always, we have the lead gen with Brea event on Wednesday from 9 to 11. We will not be having it next Wednesday, and I reached out to Elizabeth to update the calendar because we're going to be at the Color of Real Estate event, which is a regional event taught by Julia Lachey. So if y'all are interested in attending that, I think Elizabeth has sent info out about that, but let me know if you didn't receive it. So that would be a great alternative. But typically every Wednesday we'll be hanging out here, doing lead gen, listening to music. So if y'all want to come hang out, Wednesdays are a great day to come to the office. And then we are also doing a 30 coffees in 30 days event this April, the entire coaching program. So Stacy will be putting out some information about that soon. And if you commit to trying to have 30 coffees in 30 days, we'll give you a $5 gift card to use toward your first coffee or first 2 coffees. So you'll need to, once Stacy puts that info out, sign up and give your commitment. And then we will have a tracking form set up that you need to fill out at the end of each day. So you could either have 1 coffee a day for the 30 days, or you could stack 2 or 3 coffees in one day and just hang out at a coffee shop for a few hours. And then lastly, if you complete all 30, you will get your name in a hat, and Kevin's going to draw it, and the winner is going to get a $100 gift card to Starbucks. So we would love for all of y'all to join. Even if you're not able to get 30, we'd love for you to at least commit to trying to reach that number. And like I said, we'll pay for your first coffee or 2, depending on the price, with that $5. So any questions about these classes or events? No. Are y'all interested in participating in the coffee, or do you need to think about it? I'd love to just get y'all's feedback right now.
I'll do coffee. Try to do
You're gonna
coffee
do
with
it?
30 people, sure.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good, Scott. What about Connie, Evan, and Maria? Oh, Evan, I can't hear you. Your audio was, Connie, you can go ahead first. Evan, I couldn't hear you though, so.
You know what, Brea? Okay, I have to do a confession. I heard the first part and not the second part, because I was actually texting Debbie to tell her that my schedule changed and I can throw axes on Thursday.
Oh, cool.
And so you caught me. And so 30 copies in 30 days. So this is a challenge to go for coffee 30 times in 30 days in April.
Yes, yeah, so you can stack multiple coffees in one day if you want. I would definitely maybe think about just hanging out at a coffee shop for a few hours and stacking a few meetings. And these don't have to be about real estate. This is just reaching out to people in your sphere and having coffee with them. And if you commit to trying this, we will give you a $5 gift card to go toward your first coffee or 2. And then at the ending, whoever reaches 30 will get entered into a drawing to receive a $100 Starbucks gift card. So we wanted to gamify this and make this fun, since we have been talking about coffee dates is a great way to reconnect with people. So
Right.
Just
Right. Yeah, you know what, since I'm changing my schedule, I'm pulling back on hours at my job so that I can commit more time to learning real estate, yeah, I would say I'm in. I could sure try to do 30 coffees in 30 days, as long as it doesn't have to be one a day. As long as I
Yeah.
can stack them.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one a day. Yeah, we realize that with weekends and with Easter and just other holidays that, if you want to stack them, and it doesn't have to be coffee, it could be tea or any sort of drink, just any sort of like casual, I'd maybe schedule it for 30 minutes meeting, face to face with someone. So, Evan said she's in. Maria, did you catch the 30 coffees in 30 days combo? Do you want to try it as well? Yeah, okay, sounds good. Okay, and then we stop the share really quick. So let's do our follow-up from last week. Whoops, let me pull this up. So let's see, Scott, I know you had a different weekend or week than you planned because of your son. Did you get any sort of calls or texts done?
I mean, I got some messages back and stuff with some people. But as far as the amount of lead gen and stuff that I wanted to achieve, I came out way short of that.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you got some things done, and yeah, I know your schedule changed a bit because of your son. Okay, let's see, Van, I have this written down from the beginning of March. Have you had a chance to reach out to people for their emails yet? And you can maybe put it in the chat if your audio is not working still. Let you put that in the chat. Connie, have you been able to work on your neighborhood directory anymore?
I've gotten a couple more responses, not as much as I'd like. So I think that rather than having an all-inclusive, waiting for most people to respond, I'm going to take what I have. I was thinking about this morning. I'm going to take what I have and plan a first event to try to engage people that way, rather than waiting for them to give me their information. So anyway, yeah, I was thinking about that this morning. So it's kind of come along, but I'm sort of changing gears and going with what I'm getting. And so yeah, I was thinking about, do I think about doing Cinco de Mayo? Do I think about, just exactly what would I want for that first thing to try to engage people in the neighborhood? So yeah, got that this morning.
Awesome, sounds good. Okay, and then Maria, I have written down wanting to work on command. Were you able to work on that at all? I know y'all were sick, so.
Yeah, no, we were all sick with the this bug that made you throw up for 24 hours. So I haven't got to anything this week, but I'm gonna meet up with our tech guy so he can help me with command, because my clients aren't getting any of my emails or any of the properties that I'm sending them to review.
Okay, yeah, Chris may be able to help with that. They should be, if you set them up on, was it the saved search that you set them up on?
The safe search, or like any emails from command that I'm sending them to just say, hey, no one's receiving them.
Huh. Yeah, there might be something going on the back end. So yeah, Chris is great with command. So yeah, and Scott and I were talking in our one-on-one earlier, and just to bring this up to everyone, sometimes aspects of your personal life will take up more time than you want, and you won't be able to work on your business as much, but that's completely fine. And it's hard to balance everything perfectly always. So try not to be too hard on yourselves if you have kid obligations or family or just anything going on. So awesome. Okay, and then let's move to the script for today. So let me pull this up really quick. Did everyone get the email that I sent with the script ahead of time?
I got it this morning.
You got it this morning?
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay.
Really got it. Let's take stuff done, but I didn't see it.
That's okay. So let me pull up. It's going to be in the Ignite packet on page, let's see, C10. Let me get to that really quick. And it's the second one, the new listing or open house conversation starter. So I'll give y'all a few seconds to pull this up. Let me know once y'all have it put up on your end. Do you have it pulled up, Scott?
Yeah.
Connie, Maria, Evan, do y'all have it put up on your end? Connie's nodding, Maria's nodding. Evan saying, hold on. I still can't hear you. I'm not sure what's going on with your audio. You may have to enable it if you haven't already on your computer. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and read this out loud just so y'all can hear how I speak it. So I would say, hi, I'm Brea with Cleveland's News, and I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. You may have noticed the home a few doors down is for sale. So I'm going to read this as if I'm holding an open house, since y'all don't have any listings. I would say it went live this week, and the listing agent made a commitment to the sellers that the entire neighborhood would know about this listing, and I'm helping the listing agent out with this. Often homeowners know someone that might be looking to move into the neighborhood. Do you know of anyone interested in moving to Louisville? Here's some info on the house. I would hand them a piece of paper, maybe a flyer or the MLS printout. So here's some info on the house and an invite to the open house I'm holding this weekend. Before I leave, do you know if anyone in the neighborhood who's thinking of selling? And then I would let them talk, and then I would say, okay, thanks. It was great to meet you. And then I would maybe add earlier in the script, I would invite them to the open house, because it doesn't really have that in the script, I don't think. And then at the ending, I would say, I look forward to seeing you at the open house. So I would maybe say, where I say, here's some info on the house and an invite to the open house this weekend. I'd love for you to stop by and check it out, whether you know someone who might want to move into the neighborhood or you want to compare it to your home. So does everyone kind of see how I changed the script a little bit and made it more purposeful? Yep, okay. Any questions before I split y'all up to practice this?
Do I need to log into the Zoom call?
It's okay, I'll do it with you, because if Evan's volume is not working, then I'll pair Connie and Maria together. So Evan, since your volume's not working, you might just have to listen today. But I'll go ahead and put y'all free into a breakout room. So Connie and Maria, y'all could practice it, and Evan, you could listen. So let's see. Any questions before I split y'all off? No? Okay. I'll send y'all off for just 1 or 2 minutes and then bring y'all back. So I just opened that. And then Scott, you can practice it with me.
Okay. So,
Hello?
hi, I'm Scott with Keller Williams Avenues. I just wanted to take a second to introduce myself. I don't know if you noticed that there's a house down the street that just listed for sale. I wanted to provide you some information about the house. And see if you knew anybody that you knew that was interested in moving to the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I did see that house listed, but I don't really know of anyone moving off the top of my head.
Well, great. Well, here's some info. I'd love to see you come stop by the open house. And I'd love to show you around. And that kind of good stuff.
Awesome, thanks.
Cool.
Yeah, I might stop by. What time is it at?
It's from 1 to 3 on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, I might stop by to check it out.
Cool. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope to see you at the open house later.
Okay. That's good. And then also, if you're putting, I meant to mention this, if you're putting a sign in the yard, that's a great script to also ask to put a sign in the yard.
Right, and that was something that was kind of what I was gonna run through with. This little info about myself.
Do you want to practice it with adding the info about yourself in?
So, I mean, this was kind of, would have fit right in what I was kind of thinking. So,
Hello.
hi, it's Scott with Keller Williams Avenues. I just wanted to take a second to introduce myself. There's a little background on myself. You know, if you or anyone you know is in the market to buy or sell, I'm not sure if you know or noticed the house down the street was has recently been listed. We're actually doing an open house this weekend. And I'd love to invite you to come take a look at it.
Okay, yeah, I saw the house listed, we're not really interested in moving though.
Okay. But like I said, I didn't want to take up too much of your time today. I just wanted to give you some information, invite you to come check out the house down the street. You know, see if there was anybody that you knew that was looking to move. Yeah, and just see if there was any questions I could answer for you.
Okay, thanks, I'll think about it.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you today. And like I said, I hope to see you stop by the open house.
Sounds good, okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Let's try not to be too enthusiastic, because you might get that some. I think that was great both times. My only note, if they say they're not interested in moving, I would bring up coming to view the home to see how it compares against their home, because a lot of, like, have you heard the term nosy neighbors?
Yeah.
There will be some nosy neighbors that come to the open house and they say they're not interested in buying or selling, and maybe they aren't at the moment, but they're interested in seeing how this home compares to theirs and if they could get more money. So
Right.
you could kind of pivot and extend the invitation in that way. Or at least you kept the invitation open, which was great, so that if I did want, maybe I didn't want to mention that, but I did want to come see it, then I still felt welcome to come. So,
Right.
yeah. I thought that was good, y'all. Go ahead and.
I think that's where the role play comes into play, where you get rid of a little bit of that choppiness,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Where I don't know, I still feel choppiness where it doesn't
Yeah.
like just flow straight off.
and like you said,
Just going to that listing presentation and everything, just any rebuttal, any question, there was no like or choppiness whatsoever. It was just
Yeah.
created into the next thing where.
and like I mentioned, she practiced that hundreds and hundreds
No,
of
I,
times.
and
So,
I fully understand that,
Yeah.
but I can hear it within myself. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Even practicing, you're not trying to sell a house, but I can still feel and hear in my script, I can feel the whole like choppiness. You say anything back and it's not me just continuing on, it's me
having to think about it.
having to hesitate and think for that split second, and that, in my opinion, shows a lack of experience or confidence on my end, you know.
And that's okay. I don't expect y'all to be perfectly confident
No.
or perfectly.
A respected person.
But, I mean, they don't really, so I wouldn't think that, so, how'd that go on Zoom? Were y'all each able to do it once? Maria's nodding. Connie, were you?
Yeah, it was good. It was kind of fun to sort of tailor it a little bit more to my personality and stuff like that as I went through it. So that was kind of nice.
Awesome. And Van, did your volume start working or is it still?
No, I don't think so. You can't hear me, can you?
I can hear you now.
You can hear me now? Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on. Let me see what I said on. Okay. It's because I connect to this little Jabra right here because my speaker on my computer is like way too low. So as long as I have it on same system, it seems to work. Okay, I know the setting now.
Okay.
I was just saying I had FOMO. I was feeling left out. I wanted to get in their conversation in there.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, at least you have to listen. So yeah, now that you have that figured out, you can do it next time. Okay, awesome. Any questions come up from that script practice?
So would you advise not, or would you advise always handing them an MLS sheet about it? Because I guess part of, when I hand an open house sheet that I've made myself, I don't have the price on there. And that leads them to potentially ask questions about the property if I don't hand them an MLS sheet, because an MLS sheet's gonna have price and all this other stuff on there, where they might be more inclined to engage in conversation with me, where they're like, well, I am kind of curious how much it's listed for, where if I hand them this sheet here, which doesn't have price, it just has an open house invitation, there's no price on it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's up to you. So that's your decision. I think the reasons you gave are great. And if you already have that template done for that open house, you can kind of easily update it for each one. So I think that's a great idea. If you're scrambling for time, the MLS, you can just print out a PDF real quickly. So if you're scrambling for time, I think that's fine. However, creating a flyer where you can put your name on it, and Command does have templates for it. Did you do that in Command or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it has templates, so. Yeah, you can, did it let you auto pull in the listing?
Yeah,
Yeah, so then that's,
like all the pictures and stuff, I just flip flop from the.
yeah,
I realized that, I think I realized that the first open house I went to. I must not have paid too close of attention, because I don't think I flip flop the pictures well enough, because either that or reverted back to the stock photos. In the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing, because it's the stock photos,
that's funny.
not the house itself.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah, so if you're able to do that in Command, I think that's great, and, because the MLS sheet doesn't have your information or a call to action on it. So I think a flyer is great, so say they did maybe throw away one of the sheets, every sheet that you give them has your info on it.
Right.
So, yeah, awesome, any other questions? No, okay, so let's move to our activities. So leading up to our April coffee date event, I want the activity today to focus on starting to reach out to people to set that up. So this could be a Facebook DM, a text, or a call. So I just want to take maybe 5 minutes for everyone. I want you to at least text one person, ideally as many as you can. And the script that I would use, I'll put it in the chat really quick. Let me copy this. Oops. Okay, there you go. So hi Blank, are you free sometime within the next 2 weeks to grab coffee? I'd love to catch up if possible. So real short, simple, asking them to grab coffee. You can change it a little bit to how you talk, but I would just maybe save this template as a note in your phone. And then when you text each person, you can replace the name. I'm going to give us a few minutes to do that. Does anyone have any questions before we break for this? No? Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll give just maybe 5 minutes for everyone to try to text a few people. Scott, do you need the script or do you have it?
I was trying to call what you were saying.
Do you want me to read it out loud?
Yeah.
Hi Blank, are you free sometime within the next 2 weeks to grab coffee? And then I'd love to catch up if possible.
Okay.
Okay, did everyone get a chance to send it to, looks like Maria's on the phone. A few more seconds. Scott, were you able to message it to anyone?
Yeah, I'm messaging back and forth to somebody. Said they'd love to get coffee. So,
Awesome, they respond that fast?
yeah.
That's great, okay. So might have one already set up for April, so that's great. What about y'all?
To do it.
I mean,
What,
it's
Saturday?
April 1st is Saturday, so if they are only able to meet in the next few days, we can count that. Maybe try to schedule for or April, but yeah. if not,
Didn't think of that.
That's okay. Yeah, I wanted us to go and get started though, because typically people aren't able to meet as soon as the next day, but if that's their
Oh,
only,
yes.
yeah, if that's their only availability though, then yeah, we go ahead and, with them. So how'd it go on Zoom? One, Maria, it looked like you were calling people. Did anyone answer the phone? Yeah, okay. Awesome. You're muted. Did you say something else, Maria?
I just said, yeah, sorry.
Sounds good, awesome. And then Connie and Evan, were y'all able to message anyone?
Yeah, I texted back a friend of mine from, and that we're trying to get together for coffee, and then trying to figure out exactly what to say to the potential buyer that that had reached out to me, that then's kind of like, oh, I wasn't feeling well. I was like, okay, how to not be too pushy or intrusive and yet kind of keep him engaged. So that's, that's kind of what I was trying to figure out at the end is, what do I say to him that's not going to feel like he's being pushed and have him resist. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think asking him to coffee is great. I don't feel like that's that pushy, and you could maybe I think the last sentence of I'd love to catch up if possible, I think that's relevant if it's just a random friend or if it's a potential client. So I feel like that's a pretty good non-threatening message to send. So yeah, I would reach out to him regarding coffee as well. And then Evan, I saw you unmuted. Were you able to message anyone?
Yeah, so I actually met another mom at the library last week, and we exchanged phone numbers. So I figured I'd send her a message.
That's great. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, coffee dates are one of my favorite ways to reunite when you meet in person or at open house or anything like that. So awesome. Okay, so we'll be focusing on this for the month of April. Any questions before we move on to our lead generation? No? Okay, so let me share my screen. So we are going to be looking at the social media playbook today. So this is linked in the Google Drive folder under the playbooks. This is one of the playbooks that Keller Williams released regarding lead gen through social media. So I just wanted to make sure y'all are taking advantage of these resources that Keller Williams is releasing. So we'll just kind of go skim through this and touch on a few things. So this is just the intro welcoming you to the playbook. And then these are the 4 primary reasons why Keller Williams loves social media for your sphere of influence specifically. I think it's great to reach new people on social media. However, typically people start by just connecting with their spheres. So if you haven't already, I would definitely do that. So this is just going over some stats on how many people use social media. They also talk about targeted advertising. I typically recommend starting with free things on social media, like just posting and DMing people. And then once you get the hang of that, then maybe you can run some ads through command. But I think as you're testing things out, to try it for free. And then that being said, advertising on social media does have some of the lowest cost per lead. I think the cost per lead through command for Facebook, I think is around $2, which is extremely low. So I will say these are typically leads that are just getting started on their home buying or selling journey. So they might not immediately buy or sell. However, as they get imported into command, you can put them on smart plans and email, call, and text them and nurture them like you do other people in your sphere until they're ready to buy or sell. And then the last reason is engagement. So I'm a big fan of sending DMs through social media. I think they're easier and less threatening sometimes than giving someone a call. So if you're struggling to make calls or texts, I would definitely start with Facebook or Instagram DMs. So any questions about these reasons before we move on?
I feel like more people are receptive to text messages or DMs than they are to phone call. I feel like less people pick up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are busy and they have jobs, so sometimes they can't pick up. And when I started in real estate, a lot of my sphere that I was reaching out to, I'd never spoken with on the phone. So I was getting some interesting reactions and just people answering the phone with their guard up. So what I focused on was starting the conversation via text or DM and then moving it to in person, like a coffee date. So for me, I didn't really make that many calls. I tried them at first and they didn't work that well. So I figured out kind of where to meet my sphere and where it felt most comfortable. So I'm excited that everyone's going to be trying the coffee dates thing for April, because I really do think that's a great way to get someone off social media or off text and in person and just better connect with them. So yeah, any other thoughts or questions? Oh, okay. So now they go through some steps. So they start with step 1. So use the like model to create content and then schedule your post, which I think they break that down in the next page. So we'll go through that. Step 2, they run paid social ads to their database. So they have added their database into command and added their Facebook profile so that they're able to run ads. Like I said before, I would definitely start with just posting content, and especially scheduling posts, I think is great. I think all of y'all have attended one of my social media class, maybe not an event. Well, Van, I think you were on Zoom for one, where I've talked about trying to time block and schedule out some of your posts to save time. I think that's really great because it's not like you have to remember every day to post something on social media. You can just create several posts maybe on a Sunday and then schedule them out. So So, any questions about step 1 or 2? No, and then now for step 3, so I think this is the most important, and this is really how you make lead gen through social media more traditional, like cold calling or door knocking. It's by trying to have conversations. So step 3 is to interact with friends and followers by commenting, DMing them, and liking and sharing. I would focus on number 1 and 2, which is commenting and DMing them. Typically, well, it's good to like someone's post that might not have as much of an impact as if you commented something below about the post. So I would focus on comments and DMs. So every morning I sit down and spend 15 to 20 minutes going through social media, commenting on people's posts and responding to their stories. And while some people do message me on their own, it's great to initiate the conversation like you do with other lead gen methods. Step 4 is to add new friends and follow new people. So I do this by searching hashtags or just searching people that have similar interests as me, like cats or hikes or things like that. In addition to following everyone you know, I would also try to branch out and add new people as well. And then lastly, create and curate an online Facebook group. So I would say this is definitely not necessary with social media. I would consider this kind of with ads, like this would be taking social media to the next level. If you wanted to create a neighborhood Facebook group or a mom's Facebook group or something like that, you could definitely do that. But I would, as you're getting started with social media, focus on step 1, step 3, and step 4. So any questions about these steps before we break them down further? No? Okay. So let's go through the light model that they mentioned. So the model Keller Williams says to follow is local lowdown, information, know me, and engage in conversation. So starting with local lowdown. So this would be something local to your neighborhood or community that you could post on your social media. So here are a few examples. The history of your town or area, upcoming community events, school events or calendar, community service activities, interviews of prominent community members, or school or college sports games and sports. So I know, Connie, you've brought up how you put together that group to watch that Kansas game. So you might start posting sports games and scores on your social media. Evan and Maria, since y'all have children, maybe you gear more towards school events or activities that you can do with your family. Like community events, well, same as you, Scott. And then, so I think those are great ideas. So, and these are also great ways to kind of get out in the community and meet new people as well. If you're interviewing a community member or taking a photo of your business or something like that, you can start a conversation, ask permission, and introduce yourself. So here are just a couple of examples of, let me see if I can. No, they don't, but you could go, this is the Boats team, they're actually a big team at the Austin Southwest Market Center that I came from, so you could go to their social media and look at what they're posting, and then this is also the Boats team as well. So this is things to do in Austin. This looks like this is a series that they're doing, where maybe they're highlighting one thing at a time, so farmers market is a great one, so maybe you go to that and take a few photos or videos and then put it together on social media. You could also add this to your email newsletter if you're doing one, or maybe say you're door knocking for an open house, you could invite to the community as well. So this doesn't only have to be with social media, this can be with other lead gen methods too. So any questions about the local lowdown? No?
I have a question. It's not about the local lowdown, but how you were saying like to send emails and stuff. So my goal last time that I was in on a Monday class was to get more of my friends' emails and stuff. But I was kind of thinking like, how do I, like, would you personally text them, or like, could you put out a post on social media? Because I know once you start asking for emails, people are like, oh, I don't want to get all your spam and your junk. Like, what's a way I could get emails without, seeming like I'm gonna be sending out a bunch of junk or like spam, or what's a good way to get them or ask?
worried about that, I would let them know, so I would maybe say, text them and say, hey, I'm putting together a monthly newsletter on, real estate information, community information, what I've been up to, or, you know, whatever you're gonna put in the email, and I would add one aspect of the email at least to be not real estate related, so say someone doesn't want to buy or sell, they might still be interested in receiving the community information. So I would include that in the text, and then I would say also include that it's monthly, you'll be sending it once a month, and then ask for their email. Most people are willing to receive an email at least once a month. And I also think posting on social media and asking for people's emails is great. However, I think it's also good to send direct text, or as you're meeting for coffee, you can ask them as well. So does that help?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you answering that question. I was thinking about it for the last few days. So that's a good idea to say like monthly newsletters, because that is what I intended for.
Yeah, and I think I've mentioned this to some of y'all before. My newsletters, I always included a section of what I've been up to. So I would include a photo of like one of my hikes or something like that. So I recognize that not everyone is interested in real estate info, and yet they might be interested in me or interested in the community. So by including that info, it still gets them to open it or at least notice it, and it still keeps me top of mind. So yeah.
Okay,
Definitely just
that makes
feel
sense.
about what you're subscribing them to, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, so now let's go through information. So I would definitely focus on this as a real estate agent, so this is just information and educational content that you're putting out to help people learn more about real estate and help them decide whether buying or selling is a good fit or a good choice for them. So here are a few examples. Market updates are a great one. Industry news, buying or selling tips, myths about the real estate industry. I think that's a really important one, especially since a lot of news headlines aren't very accurate, or maybe not accurate for their specific situation. Top reasons your service is important. So the importance of having someone represent you with your purchase or sell. Upcoming event seminars or events you're hosting. So this is something that could overlap with community events or any of the local lowdown ideas that you have. New listings or open houses, and then client success stories or closings. With that, if you don't have any yet, you can talk more about just the power of real estate with wealth building or building a family or things like that. So if you're not sure where to start, I would start with market updates about your area that you can pull from the emails that we get from land title, DMAR, and all of those third-party sources. And then I would also start with tips for buying or selling that you can pull from your buyer or listing consultation packets that you create through Command. So any questions about informational content? Let me zoom into these so you can see. So this looks like just a stock photo of some houses, and then they start with a question and an offer to talk about the price of your home. And then this one is just a market update. So it looks like this agent created their own market update graphic. Command does have templates for this. However, also sometimes when land title or DMAR sends out market stats, they have a graphic already created that you can just download or screenshot. So, and then it looks like they just included a little bit of info. And Scott, like we were discussing before, they included this sentence, we're definitely seeing more opportunities for our home buyers. So that's a way to provide context and what exactly all these numbers mean for the person seeing this as either a buyer or seller.
I've seen that template. Debbie uses almost.
This is one.
This almost the same exact one, it looks like. I mean,
Maybe they pulled it from Command. I mean,
right,
really,
it's-
yeah. So yeah, this is a KW, so she might have put it from Command and just changed the font and colors. So I think those are two great things. And
And
then
that's something that they're doing monthly.
probably monthly, yeah. Typically, yeah, so she was November 2022 under, so it looks like that's a monthly thing. Yeah. Awesome. And then know me or about me. So this is just posting aspects of your personal life. So hobbies, travels, books and music, gratitude, quotes and memes, holidays. Command has a lot of great holiday templates. Here are two examples. It's like Christmas or winter, and then Thanksgiving. Quotes and memes are great. I've seen a lot of people do like a motivational Monday or a gratitude Monday or something like that. And then when it comes to hobbies, travels, books and music, I would just think about what you do in your personal life that you want to share. Scott posted a video today of him and his son in the snow about to go to school, wasn't it? Yeah. So I think that's a great way to share a little aspect of your personal life. And then we'll go through engage really quick. This is just talking about what I mentioned before about engaging people and trying to have conversations with them. So you can ask for engagement by posting polls on your stories, asking questions, having a competition, or doing giveaways. I would suggest starting with adding polls and asking questions. However, I do think it's important to also be proactive with trying to have conversations by sending DMs and commenting on posts. So let me zoom in. So this one, it looks like they're asking if people like Christmas vacation, Lampoon's Christmas vacation, or Elfmore. And then here's another this or that holiday shopping edition online or in store. So these are both not really related to real estate. You could do a this or that with a home. You could try to find two homes on the MLS that look very different and ask that. So I think anytime you ask for engagement, I think it makes your post more purposeful. And I would also, like I said, ask for engagement just in your everyday activities by sending DMs and commenting on people's posts. So we're not going to go through the rest of this since we're running out of time. We'll do this next time, but I at least wanted to get through the like model to give y'all a little bit of a structure for your posts. So any questions about these four things? Local lowdown information, know me, or engage in conversation? Anyone? No. No? Okay. Does everyone at least have one or two ideas of what to post on social media or include in an email or some other activity now?
I think there's so many ideas that I have, I need to just write them out maybe and schedule or plan a schedule in my mind of, you know, what I want to post at the beginning of the month, like obviously a monthly. I liked that thing that had
The market stuff.
market stats at the beginning of the month from the previous month, and just kind of, but then just plan on posting that every first month, whatever day that happens to follow on.
Yeah, and they usually don't release the stats on the first. It usually takes some time for all, because they wait for the data to be entered into the MLS first.
Where do I pull that data from? Where's the best source of that?
Go to my Denver market stats folder. So DMAR sent some, looks like RE Colorado sent some market stats. Let me pull this up. So here's highlights. So I would maybe screenshot this table and then maybe pull some of this.
Well, I can pull that and pull those numbers and put it into the.
Yeah, or you can put it. Yeah, so you look at all these stats. So yeah, let me go back to folder. So there's DMAR that includes, I mean, sometimes you kind of have to scroll through these. So like here under from DMAR, they have this. This email was March 20th. So they automatically subscribe you to all these emails. So as long as you've not unsubscribed, you should be there. And like I said, so you might have to scroll down and kind of search for it, but DMAR, RE Colorado, Jim Renshaw is land title. So they release market stats as well. And then, yeah, so it looks like those are the main ones. And
Try to find out like close to the first week or so of the month, 2 weeks of the month.
well, you can see for the February market stats, they didn't release them until the 10th.
Okay.
So
So it's one idea I want to probably start posting roughly around the middle of the month from the previous.
Yeah, maybe plan for the 15th or something like that. Yeah, awesome. Any other questions? No, okay, last thing I want to do are one thing for the next week. So I'll start with Scott since you're in the room. What's your main focus for this next week?
I think just getting organized with the postings. I want to get done on a daily basis.
Okay,
Getting my dry erase board set up so
Mhm.
that I can get my son to buy in to leave me alone when he's at home for
yeah,
a couple hours so that I can get some work done. Stuff like that. So those are two big things that need to get locked in place.
okay, awesome, sounds good. Maria, what about you?
I'm just gonna try to get those contracts finished, get my command to work properly, and then maybe get with you to figure out if I'm not saving. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. When you send an email from command for a property, so they could see, she says that she can't click on, there's no link getting sent to her, so I just gotta figure that out.
What day are you meeting with Chris?
He just sent me an email on Wednesday, I believe.
Wednesday, okay. Sound good, let me write that down. Awesome, okay. Connie, what's your one thing?
I would like to focus on those 30 coffee dates. I
Okay.
did. So I don't know what else you want. So yeah, just kind of digging up people and engaging with them. I'm sitting here actually writing down this whole idea of how could I develop something on social media that has a bit of a theme that will be engaging. So as doodling.
Okay, awesome, sounds good. And then last but not least, Evan, what's your one thing for this week?
I guess getting emails so I can do my monthly updates, because that was my goal like weeks ago and I didn't do it. So now that I kind of have a little better guidance, work on emails and monthly update emails.
Okay, awesome. Okay, sounds good, everyone. Any last questions before I let y'all go? Anyone? No? Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll see y'all maybe Wednesday for the lead gen event. If not, I'll talk to y'all soon or on Monday as well. So good to see y'all. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.